Boom, boom, ba-da-dum, boom, ba-da-dum, bum, ba-da-dum, bum, ba-da-dum, bum, ba-da-dum. Boo, doo, 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 doo-doo-dum, dum, ba-da-dum, bum, ba-da-dum, bum, ba-da-dum. Boo, doo, 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 ba-da-dum, bum, ba-da-dum, bum, ba-da-dum, bum, ba-da-dum. Doo, 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 dum, bum, ba-ba-bum, bum, ba-ba-bum, bum, ba-ba-bum. Meow, meow, bum, bum, ba-ba-bum, bum, ba-ba-bum, bum, ba-ba-bum. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Hold on one second. Just making sure this post is live, Kev. Welcome to Sir Dunk and Egg, A Night to the Seven Kingdoms, Trial of the Seven review. First, come here. Come here. I gotta show some love to Sir Monty of House Fredericks. Ugh. Get up, sir! Get up, sir! Say hello, Monty. Get up, Sir Monty! Get up! Hold on, he unplugged my laptop. All right, welcome. We're just gonna chop it up. My wife is at a conference, so I am nothing. I have no one. I have nothing to do but talk about A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Let's back up first, because first off, I gotta apologize to Sir Dunk of Flea Bottom, because I didn't start this show with the first episode. I didn't watch A Night of the Seven Kingdoms until I think at least the first 3 episodes were out. Wow, shout out to the person that gave me $5. Shout out to you. I don't even know what this is, but I was absolutely bored. Thank you. I didn't think I was gonna enjoy A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. I was gonna let it air, and then I was gonna check it out after. Interestingly enough, Marshawn Lynch was talking about it, and that made me curious. And I tuned in, and let me tell you what, this is absolutely elite television. Absolutely elite television, Dunk and Egg. This takes place in between House of the Dragon and Game of Thrones, if I'm not mistaken. There are some people in the Game of Thrones universe who are alive during both Dunk and Egg, and Game of Thrones. Also, spoiler alert, including Aemon Targaryen, who was at the wall when Jon Snow was there. First, let me say this. Shout out to George R.R. Martin, because his brain is full of all this stuff. What an amazing mind to have whole families, lineages, customs, religions, languages, from Vas Dothraki to High Valyrian, like Dracarys. He made that up. That means burn in High Valyrian. Okay? Valar Morghulis. Valar Morghulis. All men must die. Valar Dorheres. All men must serve. That brother said it's in my mind, all this stuff, dragon names, lineages, even time. This time is 150 AC after Aegon's conquest. Incestual relationships. The only thing even food, I think they got their own food. Like how your brain is full of all that stuff. And I was tweeting about that. People were like, well, he got some inspiration from medieval times. I didn't say it was all original, but bro, still, even if he said, oh, I'm gonna do this and then that's gonna become the Red Wedding, all that, is in his mind. That's crazy. So low key, I feel you, George R.R. Martin. If you don't finish it all, if you decide I'm not gonna finish the other books, you did a lot, bruh. You did a lot for us. So anyway, let's go back. Episode 1. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I didn't know who Dunk or Egg was. I did not know immediately that Egg was a Targaryen prince. I didn't go that far back into the book. I mean, I ain't read the books, and when I fully nerded out, I never caught on to that. I figured he was somebody because he knew too much to just be a stable boy. He knew a lot to be a stable boy. And then when them Lannister flags came in, when they got down to Ashford, I said, that boy, I mean, not Lannister, Targaryen flags came. I said, why that bald-headed little egg boy know about what them flags mean if he just live at this inn? I said, why you know about that, Egg? So then I figured he was somebody, and then they started talking about, oh, his sons are missing. And I said, did this man's son, is this a little Targaryen boy? He's Targaryen. He make our baby. Ain't nobody told me that was make our baby. So it was and the way they revealed it with when Aerion Targaryen was breaking that little baby's fingers, I said, boy, you better use your power for good. I think the thing that attracts me to the show is the thing that attracted me to the show originally, Game of Thrones. And I think it's it's just the story. At the end of the day, George R.R. Martin pulls me in a curious way. I remember watching the first episode of Game of Thrones, and I think I might check it out again. First of all, as a black person, let me tell you what, HBO and Game of Thrones did not market to black people. I just seen the trailer. They didn't specifically say, hey, blacks, you might like Game of Thrones. The way I knew about other HBO shows, and I would see commercials and activations and all that type of stuff. But Game of Thrones, I felt like they felt like I wouldn't like it. And they was wrong. I'm fully nerded out. I done spent money. There was a comic book girl, 119, I think was her name. She did full histories of House Targaryen and House Stark. I paid like $4 or $5 on Vimeo, I believe, just to fully nerd out. So it was so interesting to me that a show would follow a hedge knight, because it's all been about great houses, great people, nobles, vying for the throne in one way, shape, or another, from Ned Stark becoming Hand of the King, and then finding about, the illegitimate Lannister children and who's going to be king. House of the Dragon is, again, who's going to be king. It's all about the Iron Throne, Iron Throne, Iron Throne. You visit places like Flea Bottom and stuff like that, but it's always from the POV of people on, around, about, or interested in the Iron Throne. Dunk is looking for a job. A hedge knight is a lordless knight. They just be living under the hedges, under trees. Sir Arden of Pennytree was homeless, you know what I'm saying? Looking for work, fighting in wars, getting drunk, having a humongous peen. First of all, Sir Arden of Pennytree having a humongous peen, I wasn't prepared for that penis. I was like, whoa, y'all, hey man, that man had Balerion the Black Dread for peen. I said, hey, hold up. I think the showrunner's name is Ira. I said, time, why you got the show peen? He just walked out and peed and then walked back in. I said, God, dog, brother, we just met. You ain't even said no words. And I seen Helmet. But I thought it was so interesting. Like, we start off on Dunk's first day in the real world alone. I don't have the right words. And when they played that music, dun, 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 and then he doodled in there, I said, "Oh, this is a different show. we, we, we not gonna be as serious as Game of Thrones or House of the Dragons." When that man doodled in the middle of that song, I said, "Oh, y'all not being for real." Game of Thrones has a few comedic moments. House of the Dragon has a few comedic moments. A Night of the Seven Kingdoms made me laugh a few times. But at the same time, you feel bad for Dunk. When he first starts off, you like, oh, brother, this brother don't know what's going on. What's what? The women of the night are making fun of him. He's trying to get into the tourney. If he loses, he gonna lose his horses. It looked like he had to ransom his horses just to get some armor. And shout out to Stilly Pate. End up building some armor for that man that essentially saved his life. So I was loving Dunk and Egg camaraderie. When they introduced the Targaryens, I remember when Baelor and Maekar came, I was like, hold on, Baelor Targaryen, is he a decent Targaryen? Aerion Brightflame, he was terrible from his inception. He thought Dunk was a stable boy. Maekar didn't seem relatively nice, but Baelor Targaryen, he was halfway decent. I was like, hold up, man. He got the dark hair. I think his mom and them is from Dorne. I think he got Dornish kin. Baelor. He didn't have the Targaryen white, and the Targaryens didn't have long hair for the first time. So I'm like tripping out, like, hold on, Baelor he's the Ned Stark of the Targaryens. I was like, oh, is Mama Stark? Is it Mama Stark or a Targaryen? They said Mama Stark. Who his mama is? Who Baelor? I thought it were Dornish people. Okay, that's what I thought. I thought Baelor and them got Dornish kin. They over there from Mississippi Dorn. He Dornish, ain't it? Because they had the Targaryen reunion, and he had to go. Targaryen reunion was in May, but then the Dornish family reunion was in July, if I'm not mistaken. He said, I got to go over with them Dornish people because my mom and them Dornish. He Dornish, ain't it? Yeah, his mama from the South. That's what I thought. His mama from Augusta. Okay, that's what I thought. So anyway, Dornish people really Caribbean people. All right. So anyway, when it all comes to a head and Aerion is breaking that girl's finger, Dunk comes in and beat the brakes off him. Send you a band? Trumpet? Drums? Orchestra? Clearly you are a musician or a lead singer. You need musicians to back you up. If you, I know musicians. You tell me what part of the United States you live in. I'll get you keys, a bass player, drums, a trumpet. You tell me what kind of music you sing, and I will send you some resumes of some people. For sure. That's clearly what you meant by sending me a band. I know some musicians. But yeah, let me get into the Trial of the Seven. So you got Dunk in jail. Egg got to go put on his royal clothes, right? And he like, my bad, Dunk. Listen, man. I low-key hate my brother. I was hoping he would die in the tournament. Actually, let me back up. Do y'all think Dunk was gonna take that bread when they try to get him to throw the fight? That man who wouldn't let him in the tourney, the games master. Do you think that Dunk? It don't seem like it matters now, but I think he was gonna take that bribe. He was trying to be noble, but he was like, "Man, listen, you don't think he was gonna take the bribe? Y'all don't think so? He was definitely considering it. I feel like he was asking questions. He was asking all them questions, making statements. You think he got too much pride? I thought he turned it down flat, but then he came around to it. That's what I'm saying. He was considering it. It didn't seem completely off the table. Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you possibly, but not likely. I'll give you that. Yeah, I think he got too much honor too. I do believe that. Okay, I could give you that too. He dumb and curious. Anyway, it don't matter now, but when Arian killed that horse, I was like, now that's the Targaryens. I know, because why you kill that horse? You didn't have to do that. You didn't have to do that. Just evil. Remind me of when remember the Mountain lost his jousting match and he cut the horse's head off, and we was like, that horse ain't had nothing to do with you doing that. You couldn't handle the horse. I mean, the joust. What you cut the horse's head off for? Then your brother came and fought you. Remind me of that. Just evil. This shirt is a Patrick Cloud shirt. I don't know if it's Halloween, but it's a Patrick Cloud shirt. Let's feel something on it. Anyway, so Dunk is in jail. He thought he was gonna go into the jousting match. He ends up in jail, and Baylor Targaryen pulls him aside, and he's like, "Look, man, what kind of a knight are you? Because Aerion trying to kill your dad. So, what kind of knight are you?" And Dunk's like, "Well, I'm Dunk. I'm Dunk from Flea Bottom. I've never been in a fight before. I don't know." Dunk was just like, "Bro, I just been training. I've been holding Arlen Appentry's other horse. That's what I've been doing. I'm 28 years old. I don't know how old he is. Maybe he's 19. He's humongous, between 19 and 28. And Baylor was like, if I could set this up, okay, you ask for a 1v1 fade with Aerion, and that's your only shot, because otherwise you're gonna die." And it was funny because Dunk, when he blacked out, he busts Aerion in the mouth, bink, 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 kicked him, knocked his teeth out of his mouth. He blacked out. So I feel like off brute strength, he would have had a chance. Then Aerion Targaryen, he gonna say, "Let me get the trial of the 7." And he Dunk was like, what is that? I'm Dunk. I'm Sir Dunk of Flea Bottom. What the hell is a trial of 7? And it was so funny because Aerion's dad and uncle were so disappointed in him. They was like, "Trial of 7? Who is you?" He was like, "Bro, I need the trial of 7." Oh, but Dunk is 17 at this time? That man looked 28. 17 and 9. That man supposed to be 17. They always be. I was reading the other day that Robb Stark was supposed to be 16 during the War of the Five Kings. And I was like, Robb Stark was 33 in that show by the time he was Five Kings in them. Boy, you look 30. Absolutely. Anyway, became obvious that Aerion Targaryen thought, Aerion Brightflame, he thought Dunk wasn't going to be able to get the 7 and he was going to lose by default. And low key, it looked like that. Dunk had like 3 in a possible, 4 in a possible, shout out to Egg and Lionel Baratheon. Oh, first of all, Lionel Baratheon's dancing was cracking me up. Lionel Baratheon got on that tent, and that man said, I can't really see it because I'm standing up, but that man said, you know how bad you got to be feeling yourself to do this? He flicked his hair and his hand. He said, I'm Big Lionel, Big Stag. You better act like you know. Baratheon's on me. He did this. I said, okay, Lionel. Yeah, it was his tent. Now Dunk was hitting him with the Dunk hit him with the boy, this big Dunk. He was like, I said, what dance is that? He's like, this is the Flea Bottom Boogie. All you do is you be big and goofy and you go. And then Lionel gonna try and step on your feet and you hit him with the, and then low key, Dunk, he almost got that LA. All he had to do was, he was right here. Boom. Squabble up. Squabble up. Squabble up. He was right there, but he was hitting him with the, it's the worst dancing I've ever seen. Jesus. Whew. Get him, Monty. Get him. Hold on. That little bit of activity shouldn't have caused that much out of breath. Anyway, so Dunk got 4 in a possible, and then he got 5 in a possible, and he's like right there. Finna go head up with Aryan Daddy, the Kingsguard, and a few other people. And then who was it? Was it Stephen Fossaway? Who turned on Dunk? Was it that Fossaway man? Because the Targaryens had offered him some land. Stephen Fossaway. He was a hoe. Yeah. Stephen Fossaway was a hoe. He was a hoe from the very beginning, beating up his cousin, stuff like that. So Dunk is like, you finna be dead. And I thought, well, dang, because I didn't read into the books or I didn't nerd out. So I didn't know how Dunk and Egg ended. So I was just like, maybe he dies. I don't know. When Baelor Targaryen came on Dunk's side, I was like, this might be the only decent Targaryen I've ever seen in the history of Targaryen. I guess Master Aemon wasn't bad, but I didn't know he was a Targaryen for the whole time. I just thought he was old and had white hair. And I was like, is the trial of 7, because you know the trial by combat, people be dying. So I wasn't really understanding the rules at the beginning. Because, you know, I watched the Oberyn Martell versus the Mountain, and he wasn't trying to yield. Also, Oberyn, I never forgive you for that. But also, it's good writing. People get mad at Oberyn Martell for not killing the Mountain. But his goal as a character, and this is why it's just good writing, his goal as a character is more than he needs a RICO case to Tywin Lannister. He needs Tywin Lannister, it to be obvious that Tywin Lannister ordered the murder of Elia Martell's kids. And he needs the Mountain to confess. So just killing him, that don't really help me, because I really want to kill Tywin, but I need proof. He already knows, but he needs proof. And I just think that's good character writing. So anyway, I don't know why Baelor Targaryen, that's funny, black people. Oh, where'd that comment go? Usher Raymond is great. I don't know if you were the originator of this or you saw somebody else say that, but whoever originated that is fun. Rhaegar Targaryen. He might be the one that's good. I didn't hear nothing evil about him. He just wanted Lyanna Stark. And that's crazy because Robert Baratheon thought, oh, that's my girl. I don't think she felt the same way. A little love triangle end up with a lot of people dead. But anyway, when Baelor Targaryen joined Dunk's side, I was like, this is gonna be great. But are they gonna fight him? Because you the next in line to the Iron Throne, Kingsguard, they not gonna kill you. So you just gonna be on there to make 7. Like somebody online said, it's like Baelor Targaryen's a quarterback and the Kingsguard are defensive linemen who were sworn to not sack him. So I think I didn't know how it was gonna go. Also, I ain't gonna hold you. It'd be painfully obvious that Duncan Eggs, A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, does not have the budget of Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon, because they said, all right, we finna start this trial of the 7. You are going to go inside Dunk's helmet and you gonna watch the fight like this, because we don't have no money to have 7-on-7 fighting. 14 people fighting, absolutely not. So let's come in all right here through this little helmet, and you gonna watch Dunk. That's you got Dunk POV. I don't know what fight. What is the other 14 people doing? You won't know. And sometimes limitation helps creativity, to me. Because sometimes the more money you have, you can just do anything. Sometimes things are out of balance, out of focus. When you ain't got the bread and you know you ain't got the bread, you better figure out a way to make it work. And we just proceeded to watch Dunk himself, which is, since the show's from mostly his POV, it makes sense that the fight was from his POV. But you have the show justification and you have the budget justification. But at the same time, I kind of liked it that way, because he was getting jumped, and you felt like it. Dunk should have been dead seven times. That man got smacked in the face with a mace. He got stabbed, multiple stab wounds. The boy Arian had the sword going through the helmet, all in his eye. He getting the helmet banged into his face. I mean, I said, this baby got to be dead. If it weren't for Stilly Pate's armor, Dunk wouldn't have lasted the episode. I expected, and so did a lot of people on the timeline, I expected that they didn't have the money for a full-on battle for the full episode. Like, they don't have Battle of the Bastards money to go full, wide, long. They smacked Dunk in the head. He got knocked unconscious. Let's go back to when you were a child. Let's see you and Rafe. They're on the seashore. I didn't want to research too much because I ended up getting spoiled a little bit, but I assume they are trying to rob a dead body from the Blackfire rebellions. Are y'all who are up on the books? I saw something about the Redfield maybe battle, but I think that was one of the Blackfire rebellions that was ending. Okay, it looks like Redgrass Field. Thank you so much. I knew it was someone was red in there. I thought it was Red Robin or something like that. So Blackfire Rebellion, I believe it might have been the first Blackfire Rebellion with who was that boy name? Who's Blackfire boy? Ain't them Targaryen names, boy. Who was the first Blackfire Rebellion, y'all? What was that man name? It was Daemon? Daemon Blackfire? Them Targaryens, boy, all they do, Daemon, Aegon, Aemon, Daemon, Aegon, Aegon, Jaehaerys, Aerys, Daemon, Jangan. Boy, y'all got about 4 names and you spell them a different way. Aemon, Daemon, Aegon, Jaehaerys, or Aerys. That's it. Yeah, I know it's Damon Blackfire, a different Damon, but that's what I'm saying. That in the lineage, them Targaryens just be running them same names over and over. Okay, Valerian. But anyway, we go back to Dunk and Flea Bottom and him and Rafe, and it was a long flashback. I'm gonna tell you, they didn't have the bread. And oh, Damon Blackfire was named after Damon Targaryen. That makes more sense. Okay. Him and Rafe running the streets of Flea Bottom with full-on grown men terrorizing them was kind of crazy. Because if he's supposed to be 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, and this time, he must have been, I don't know, 10, 11 at the time of the flashback. Him and Rafe are trying to get out of Flea Bottom. They robbing dead people. They pulling teeth. They in the mud of it, literally. And when Rafe stole that man's ale skin, I said, okay, that's not gonna be good. And then she just threw it on the ground. And I remember thinking that he gonna try to assault this young lady. And he catches up to them. And when she stole his dagger, I said, okay, this is gonna be a turning point for this character. When he comes back for her eventually, she's gonna kill him. It's gonna turn her dark, and she's gonna cross and I could not finish the thought. That man took that knife from her and cut her throat, and I said, okay, or he's gonna murder a child. Surely I thought she was gonna go Arya Stark, right hand, left hand, stab the Night King. No, he is gonna slit her throat, even though she's 11, 12, because this is George W.R. Martin, and George W.R. Martin is gonna kill them noble people who already got it going bad, and the evil gonna reign. And you know what I like about that? Just like our current administration, George R.R. Martin believes that evil people stay in power and hoard power, and they live long and fruitful lives. And good people often are taken advantage of, and they get the short end of the stick. We want the world to be one way. You want it to be one way, like Marlo said, and it's the other way. And you want the people who be good to do good. And unfortunately, the evil people win, and they cut your throat. And moral people get killed in the universe and in the real world. So you saw Dunk. It was so sad when they had enough money to get out of Flea Bottom. I don't even know where they were going. And she gets there, and the dude's like, price doubles. Y'all think y'all the only one trying to get out? And that's actually good writing. Good writing says character A needs to do thing. But if you're writing and it's always like, character A needs to get out of Flea Bottom. So they go and get money. They find the money they need. They hand it, and they get out of Flea Bottom. That's too easy. You need to get out of Flea Bottom. So you have to do something you don't want to do, which is rob a dead person. That's not going to be enough. You're going to have to pull their teeth out. How bad do you want to get out? Now, when you finally got enough money to get out, you go to get out, and now the price is doubled. And now the character has to figure out how to get the double price. And before they can even do that, they run into the enemy that when they did the thing that they did to them, they assumed they would never see them again, because by the time you see me again, I'm supposed to be on that boat. But because I didn't get out of town, you now see me. And when I grab your knife, I should be able to kill you. But since you're an adult man, I don't have the strength, the skill, or whatever, and I get killed. And Dunk is frozen. And then Sir Huge Peen, Arlen of Pennytree, more like Arlen of Penis Tree, because he got the huge meat, fully drunk, kills two men. First of all, the other dude who killed Rafe's homeboy stabs Dunk in the leg with a spear in the alley of Flea Bottom. I said, man, Flea Bottom is just pure chaos. Every time they go there in these shows, it's pure and utter chaos. You stabbing children in the leg meat. You don't feel bad? Sir Arden of Penitry comes out full drunk with the most wild handles on the sword and still manages to kill them two people. And now, since Dunk has nothing left in Flea Bottom and he can't stay there, he leaves. Also, when that baby Dunk was trying to rationalize leaving and his mom not being there, and he was like, "But if I leave, what if she comes looking for me?" And Rafe was like, I know she wasn't black, but if they were black, she would have been like, "Nigga, if you don't, boy, your mama is dead." And I felt so bad for him because he ain't got it all. Hey man, he ain't as quick-witted as most people. But in that moment, I said, "Damn, your mama," and he knew she was dead. But like, you a kid, like, I feel you, Dunk. I feel you, Dunk. So anyway, he follows Sir Arlen the Penny Tree back. Now, cut back to the battle. Arian was they beaten Dunk up so bad. When Arian threw that sword at him, I said, I assume he's gonna live because I feel like there's more novels than this. But maybe Dunk and Egg maybe I don't know what I don't know. And yeah, he was hoping against hope. That's what he was doing. Poor baby. Your mama dead. The difference between Dunk, who is a inexperienced green fighter, and Arian Brightflame, who is very experienced. The only thing Dunk had on him was size and determination. Arian done speared, volleyed, parry, throwing knives, all kind of stuff. And Dunk just smacked him. At one point in time, he just was like, "What if I smack the crap out of you?" And he just smacked the crap out of him. And when Dunk got knocked out and Arian was saying he was dead, that little boy who plays Egg, they need to give that baby an Emmy, because this part when he was saying get up to him,
he's dead. It's over.
Dunk is Forrest Gump.
Get up, sir.
Whoa!
Get up.
Yeah.
Get up.
Come on, Dexter Soul.
Get up, sir, Duncan. Get up, sir.
Yeah.
Get up.
Get up.
Whoa! I ain't gonna hold you. I wish I had a pulpit tomorrow, because I need an egg in my corner who, when I'm down and out, can yell at me and say, "Get up, sir. Get up, sir." Hold on. I got to let him say wait, because at the end when he said wait, when they try to blow the horn, and Egg said, "That wait, oh, that Dexter! Oh!
Get up.
Come on, Dex. Oh, wait! Because Dunk ain't finished yet. Them royal nobles gonna knock you upside your head. But I need it for you to find it in yourself to get up, sir. Get up, Sir Duncan. Get up, Dunk of Flea Bottom. You been at the Flea Bottom. Sir Arlen the Penny Tree done trained you. We ain't going out like that. Get up, sir. Get up, sir. I was up on my TV like, "Get up, Dunk. Nigga, they trying to kill you." And when that man about to blow the horn, he said, "Wait! You wait, oh slewfoot devil, because you thought you had me. You thought I was dead. You thought I was done. You thought I was finished. But just you wait. Oh, you ain't through with me yet. Sir Arlen the Penny Tree done told me when I was a little boy and I thought I was dead, I had to get up. And now Sir Dexter Soul on Sale, the baby known as Egg, done told me to get up. the egg of a dragon, who is the child of your enemy. Oh my God. He sees you as you are. And Dex, that baby egg won't gonna let you die. Egg believed in you more than you believed in yourself. And here's the thing. Oh, y'all got to watch this. Y'all got to watch this. Y'all got to watch this. See, when Arian thought Dunk was dead, he thought it was over. My God. He thought it was over. But when Dunk found it in himself to come to his senses and stand as Duncan the Tall, even with his eye closed, he said, I'm still standing. I'm still strong. Watch this. Oh yeah, I hear you, Holy Ghost. When Arian turned around and he realized that Dunk was still standing, it was already over. The way Arian closed his armor, he was already defeated. See, that enemy's plan was to call you dead before you were dead. But if you can just get up, Sir Duncan, get up, Sir Duncan. You wait. You don't blow that horn because the battle is not over. The battle isn't yours. It's the Lord's. Because once Dunk stood up, he beat the brakes off of Arian Bright Flame. Smacked that man from sea to shining sea. And here's the thing too. See, your enemy, they gonna talk big and talk crazy when they call you out. But when you beat the brakes off them, now they want to say, I yield. No, you got to grab that enemy. He grabbed him, drug him. You say it loud. You talk crazy about me loud. You gonna say the apology. You gonna withdraw that accusation as loud as the accusation was. You don't get to be all, I yield. No. We going right to the horn, people. You gonna cry in front of everybody in Ashford. You gonna apologize in front of everybody in Ashford. I ain't gonna let you be quiet. Dunk was like, get your. He about killed that boy. This whole time, I think it's over. I think you finally won, Dunk. Yeah, I like when Maker said my boy. He was like, my boy. And they was like, nah, man, this is the 1v1. When they in that little cave and they assessing Dunk's injuries, and Baelor Targaryen comes, and Dunk is like, I am your man, sir. I am your man. I am your man, sir. And Baelor was like, we need good knights in the rim. We need good knights in the rim. Hey man, get this helmet off me, man, so we can talk about Dunk's future. Get this helmet off me. And they're like, oh yeah. And he was like, oh no, the helmet kind of stuck. He's like, yeah, just grab it off real quick. My fingers feel like wood. I said, what's going on with this man? But they took that helmet off, and the dude behind him was like, yo, Grace, your head meat is out. Your head meat out. And that man turned around, and he had the back of his head open. I said, oh my God. Dang it. Now, just like I said, now Dunk, who just earned a chance to be with them. Yeah, he sure did say, my brother's mace most like. I said, and I watched a clip on Twitter. It looks like Baelor was just like kind of tapping Makar, and Makar turned around and swung the mace, knocked that man smooth off. And apparently he didn't bring no armor. He was wearing his son's armor, and that's why his head got caved in. And I said, boy, Game of Thrones ain't gonna let you have no good people. It just ain't gonna let you have no good people. Head meat gone, y'all. I said, oh my God, Dunk. And actually, I got to be honest, I spoiled that myself. I didn't know Baylor's name when I was watching, and I was like, "Who is this dude?" And I looked up Baylor Targaryen, and I scrolled too down that doggone wiki of Fire and Ice. I scrolled down too far, and I knew he was done. He died, but then when he came in, I was like, "Oh, maybe they didn't do it. Maybe the showrunner switched it up because they've done stuff like that." And okay, maybe he ain't gonna die because he came in here talking good, and they didn't show him get hurt. And when that man fell over dead, I said, "Oh, brother. Oh, brother." they took Bay. Bay is great. Yeah, you can't look up. You can't look up nothing. I just don't be knowing people's names, and I knew better. But they still got me because I didn't know Rafe died. And I can't imagine if I didn't know Baylor was gonna die. That probably would have just been y'all funny. I love talking about stuff with Black people. But yeah, man, that show is just a beast. I mean, just a beast. Oh, Rafe is show only. Oh, it's not show only. Either way, I didn't see that coming. So yeah, tonight or tomorrow night, we got unfortunately the final episode. It looks like Makar is gonna try to get Dunk to squire with him, which is kind of crazy. Like, if I understand correctly, Makar becomes next in line to the Iron Throne. If Baylor's dead, Maker is the next brother. He becomes next in line to the Iron Throne. Well, I guess there's a lot because they said, was Arian the oldest, or he had 4 sons? Arian, I know there's Arian, Aemon, and Aegon, but I don't know. Does Makar has Baylor's? Oh, you're right, Baylor's son. It goes down. Okay, so then there's got to be something that Makar is who's on the throne right now? Who's their dad? Oh, the drunk kid. That's right. You show is right. I don't know his name either. Who's the king right now? Who's Darren and oh, it is Darren. Darren the Good is Baylor daddy, Baylor Maker's dad. Okay, so that means Baylor's son gonna have to die somehow because for Egg to become Aegon the Unlikely, Baylor's son got to die. Maker becomes Roy Dale and Alva Steen's grandmother and my grandmother. See, they were sisters. That's what it feels like watching Game of Thrones because I don't know all these people. Darren the Good, okay. Now that ain't true. That's not true. Oh, he's the prophet. Okay. I saw a video explaining how Baylor's death led to what happened in Game of Thrones. It doesn't happen if he doesn't die. So I don't know how, and I don't want to get spoiled because I don't know how far they're going to go down Dunkin' Eggs. But from what I did read, what I did see in the preview for the next episode is Maker is asking Dunk to let Egg squire with him. My question is, how you going to let him squire with you when you don't have no house? And then also you talking about the dream. Y'all see when the lady was talking to Dunk and Egg, the little seer lady, she was like, "You're gonna be richer than Lannister, and you gonna die in a fire." And Egg was like, "What? What you mean? Like, you're gonna become a great king and you're gonna die in a fire, and it's gonna be the biggest fire ever. You're gonna be rich though." Egg was like, "Oh, hey, He was like, "Oh man, watch out. That girl ain't telling no truth." But I did read a little bit about Egg. I think I just he is gonna become king. Yeah. Egg is short for Egon. I don't know why he goes by Egg, but it's just a nickname. But yeah, I don't know why that lady told that man that baby that you gonna be rich. You gonna die in a fire and be king though, but then you're gonna die in a fire. Yeah, so I started watching YouTube videos again on Game of Thrones, and I didn't realize Joffrey talked about him. Maester Aemon talked about him. Let me tell you what, Game of Thrones has too many people with too many names. They just be talking about people and stuff. I can't remember all that crap. Let me ask y'all this. They talk about making new shows of stuff, and there was a whole list of things that they might make. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find this list. These are the things that they have: Game of Thrones, House of Dragon, Night of the Seven Kingdoms. They're talking about Aegon's Conquest, Blackfire Rebellion, and the Baratheons Rebellion as potential spinoffs. I was saying I want to see Aegon's Conquest, but book readers were like, it's too straightforward to be interesting. So if that, which probably is true, the man got dragons, nobody else got dragons. The Baratheons rebellion, there's nothing more than I want to see than Robert Baratheon in his prime crush Rhaegar Targaryen with a warhammer. I want to see the rubies spill into the river. They talk about Robert when Robert's always like, "Gods, I was strong then. Gods, I swung that hammer through his chest." When they was doing war stories and him and Jaime, I want to see Robert Baratheon in his MVP season. I want to see the Mad King had to burn Ned Stark daddy and Ned Stark brother, I think Brandon Stark, I believe. And he had to burn them. And that's when Ned was like, "Oh, it's finna be up for y'all." I think that's what started the Robert's Rebellion. Rhaegar, he gave Lyanna Stark the flowers at some tournament, even though he was engaged or married to Elia Martell. I think he was married to Elia Martell. So I want to see them get the houses aligned. I want to see the Lannisters at the last second come in and open the gates. I want to see Jaime do his Kingslayer stuff. I want to see all that. I feel like you could sign me up for Robert's Rebellion 3-4 seasons of that. And since you ain't got no dragons to worry about, you it's not gonna be expensive, because I know the dragons are gonna be expensive. Robert's Rebellion, you ain't got no dragons. So oh man. That's the other thing I would like to see. The Doom of Valyria sounds so out. The whole Valyria and just all the dragon lords with the Valyrians, the Targaryens, old Valyria before the Doom. What was y'all lit? But I feel like that's just gonna be too expensive to have all them dragons. So, man, that would be so lit though. The Doom is what I'm trying to talk about, man. Also, have y'all seen? Apparently, people don't like season 2 of House of the Dragon. I didn't mind it. It was a lot of setup, but I've been seeing on Twitter that people really hate it. And I said, man, I didn't hate it. It wasn't as good as season 1, but I felt like, bro, I expect every season to get better and better and better. But they acting like just House of the Dragon was just terrible. I said, that ain't terrible. Yeah, and that's why I'm so interested, because the Targaryens were not important in Old Valyria. What dude is this? What dude spits every time? I think it's because people are expecting Fighting 2, but it wasn't terrible to me. Yeah, I agree with that. But they really set up season 3 to be prime. And when people who get to binge all 3 are gonna be like, oh, this is great. But it was a little slow, but they spent that bread for them dragons. Boy, make me black in every lifetime. Nah, I ain't seen it. I ain't seen episode 1 of Paradise. Yeah. Here's the thing, and I don't need y'all to spoil it. I don't even know exactly what happens in House of the Dragon. All I know, actually, I don't know, and I don't spoil it. I'm about to make my screen big so I don't see no comments. I don't know who wins in the House of the Dragon. I know who I think don't win just because I'm rooting for them, and that means they're gonna die. But I don't exactly know how it goes. And it's gonna be June, I believe. If I'm not mistaken, it come out in June. But yeah, I'm hype for it. They about to have me right back. And the Game of Thrones universe is so rich that I can't wait. No one wins when the family feuds. You're right. All I know is all the dragons finna be dead. Y'all can't be this funny. The books are thicker than Meg the Stallion. Does anybody watch Industry on HBO? I've been hearing that's good. I've been thinking about starting it since my wife's not home. I have nothing to do with nobody. Cisco's dragon's name is Thongra. All right. I saw Jon Snow was in it. That's why I thought about watching it. The end of House of the Dragon was spoiled in Game of Thrones by Joffrey. What happened, Monty? How? Don't tell me. 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 I didn't watch TAS. There's too much. What did Joffrey say? I don't remember that. When was the first season of Game of Thrones? I didn't even live in LA yet. Season 1 of Game of Thrones was when? 2011? I don't remember no crap from 2011. That was 15 years ago. Jesus Christ. I totally forgot about this series. Yeah, I gotta stop. All right, y'all. I'll be back after the episode on Monday. I actually probably won't be able to watch it tomorrow night. I got a show tomorrow night, so I'm gonna miss it. I'll probably try to do the final one on Monday if I can. Thank y'all for rocking with me. It's been a great day. God bless you. God keep you. We'll see you at the conference.